Welcome back, friends, for this React.js tutorial. This is Practical IT. On the previous one, we have seen on how to handle the click event. On this one, we're going to see how we're going to be just working with the text, meaning when someone is going to provide as a user his or her name, address, or anything that they have to type using their keyboard, then how do we handle that one? How do we work with that from our page? And that would be the theme that we're going to take a look on this video. As usual, please don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button. All right, so what we want to do is basically we want to have like a text box somewhere. And whenever we're typing that text, then we want to have like a control of what that the user has given us so that we can work with it. Let's say if the user is providing the address, then maybe we're going to grab that address and then verify it. Or if the user is providing the email, maybe the email is going to be just registered or it's going to be just validated against the validity of the email. So for all those cases, then we have to have a way to handle even the text that the user is providing to us. So let's go ahead and then just add text box over here. Let's fix this thing just to make it like smaller. And over here, I'm going to have, let me have like a div, and under div, let me have like the input type. I'm going to say text, and let's stop over here. So we have added like a text over here, and let's give it, yeah, that should be fine. So we have added like a text over here, and whenever I'm typing something, I want to have like a control on this one. Every time that I'm typing, I need to have like an access to that text. Or later we can see whenever someone is typing on this one and then clicking on this, then maybe we can print this value somewhere, or we can send it over, or we can do something about it later. But for the time being, let's try to access the value that the user is typing as he or she is typing. Now, how do we do that? Like, if we are having in such a way, then what it means is we need to have a way to handle on the OnChange event. You can do exactly the same thing within the OnKey up or OnKey down as well, but the OnChange appears to be like much more appealing. So we're going to use that one. And we have already seen for the OnChange, we're going to use the same OnChange, but with a capital one. And we're going to use this, let's call it text handler. And the value, we can also, let's come back to that one later. So what we are going to do is we're going to use the same as this one. We're going to say text handler, and we're going to have over here. Now, every time that you're going to be just working with an event on React, what we are going to have as the first argument over here is what we call the event. Again, we are familiar with the event. Of course, this one is a wrapped event, which is from the React. It might not be exactly the same as the Windows event that we are having, but most of like the APIs that we are having from the event are available for us. For example, if I'm typing console.log and event.target, dot target dot value, then every time that I'm typing on this one, then it's going to log it to the console. So let's take a look on that one as a first or introductory. And whenever I'm typing, as you can see, then on the right side, you're going to see the moment that I'm typing, it's going to be just written over there. And at this time, what is happening is every time that I'm typing, the OnChange event is going to be hitting the text handler, which is going to be over here. And we have said the event is going to be just there. And as we know, like the event is going to be responsible for the target, which is firing that specific event. So from there, we're going to get the target, and then we're going to get the value. So from the target, we can get the ID, we can get the attributes, and we can like all the time, or just all types of things that we can get from that one. It is still available for the React as well. But here, the target is going to be just the text box, and every time the value is going to be just printed over here. Now, how about like if I want to show or if I want to print that one as let's say somewhere over here. So let's add this one, and let me have like a paragraph. The text value is, and now we cannot just directly have this thing, just we cannot access this one. Like there is a way with the reference and stuff, but with the, it's much easier just to do it with the initial part, that we need to have like a way to put the values on a variable. And from that variable, we're going to be just able to pull it off. Now for that, we're going to have like one variable just to put like whatever the user is typing into our local variable so that we can access it. And let me have over here, and this has text value, and let's have initial value here. And we want to put the value that we get from the input box into the text value so that internally I'd have an access to the text value. At least that's the idea. And I'm going to have here this that text value. Okay, so, and in order to assign the value on this one, every time that I'm typing, I need to put it over here. What it means is this that text value is equivalent to, or we're going to assign it as event that target that value. So let's see what we have so far. Well, the first one is this text value is initial value. So the paragraph is coming with the previous like CSS value. That's what's going to just pick it up. So we have like the text value. Initial value is the value that I gave it here. Now I'm going to clear this one out and let me reload that. And we can also provide like the value initial over here so that we can see like all the attributes are in town. Then I can say like value equals this that text value. Let's put it like on the next one so that we can see it easily. And this one as well. So it's easy just to take a look at it. All right. So if I do that one, then you can see like the initial value is over here and the initial value is going to be just also over here. So the value would be the value that we have on text value. So the idea is whenever I'm typing on this one, then I want the changes to be appearing over here. So take a look on what is happening on the right side. Whenever I'm typing, I'm trying to go back, then it is taking out the last value of the E, but for me, it's going to take it back over here. I can't go any more than that, even though you can see that the initial value without the E over here is printed, which means it is right over here. So what is happening is every time that we're going to change this, the component is going to be just reloading. And then whatever the value that we put on the this.text value is going to be just reassigned again with the initial value. This is where we're going to be just implementing what we have seen a little bit earlier in the videos. That is going to be just the state. So the state is going to be the perfect parameter, the perfect utility or tool to be used over here, because even though it's going to be just reloaded, the previous values are going to be kept properly. So I'm going to take this out and I'm going to say this that state equals, let's say text value equals initial value, all right? And from here, since we don't have like the text value, then we're going to say, we know that we're not going to assign directly on a text value. So we're going to say this that set state, and we're going to utilize text value is equal to event that target that value. And we don't, of course, need this one. And over here, this .text value is no more available. Rather, it has to be that this state.text value. And the same thing here as well. Let's see what we have over here. So initial value is here, and we're going to clear this one. And let me get rid of this one. Then now you can see, even though like the component is going to be just reloaded every time whenever there is a change, it's going to keep the value from the state. So it's not going to be affected. And if I'm having new value added in the text box, then it's going to be properly handled. And from here, what happened is whatever I'm typing over here is now nicely available locally, so that for whatever kind of the usage that I need to implement the text value, I can just simply pull from this one and then implement it anywhere that I'm interested in to utilize it. All right. So this is how we're going to grab the value from the text and then utilize it inside the component. On the upcoming ones, we're going to see like a couple more event handlers, but so far we have seen on how we're going to handle the click and how we're going to handle the values that are going to be collected from the text input box. Thank you very much for your attention. Again, as a final reminder, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe for our videos. That way it's going to help us to get more. That's going to help you like whenever there is more to be notified and then utilize from our channel. And I will see you on the next video.